Well, greetings, fellow wanderers. Jacob Wile here,
And Tiki too.
and welcome back to Wandering Over Yonder, a vlog series where I take Tiki here on a voyage through Craig McCracken's madcap Disney XD series, Wander Over Yonder. Having been through the show before, it is my job to show him the ins and outs of this strange universe. And this time around, we have the Brainstorm.
Yeah, that is right, Jacob. So we are back with Wandering Over Yonder. We're hoping to make this a weekly thing now, just kind of, I don't know, Jacob, I really appreciate, we've really been building up this whole Tiki's Universe thing, reviewing the modern TV shows, modern cartoons. We're about to jump into an experimental thing that we're going to do a little bit later on at the evening. Maybe covering a pilot or two, who knows, just being cryptic there. But I really do want to make these animated vlogs kind of a central focus of the channel, Jacob. I really want to really go all in on that. And for that reason, yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? Like, I don't even think it'd be as bad if we literally just ended it on the top 20 episode that we did when we finished the
First half.
Yeah, the first half of season 1. But no, we decided, we took a break, and then we did The Lonely Planet, one episode of a 2-episode chunk, and then we took an even longer break, and now we're back, and hopefully we're back for good. So,
Sorry about that.
No, you don't have to apologize. Believe me, scheduling on the channel is all on my end, and it's just, things come up. Things come up.
It was both to you and the audience members.
Yeah. I mean, hell, I want to take an extra day at the museum now. I want to start going into the museum 3 days a week. So I don't know how I'm going to do that and cover all these shows, but you know what? I'm going to try. So,
yeah.
All right, Jacob. So the Brainstorm. Wander Over Yonder, the first half of the season, one of the characters I've been kind of struggling with. I'm not openly against him or anything. I don't necessarily have any problems with him, but
What's
I don't.
Peepers?
Yeah, Peepers. Right. He wasn't necessarily a problem character for me. He just wasn't as engaging as, I'd say the main 3 characters in, in Hater, Cilia, and Wanderer. Or Sylvia. I'm sorry, Sylvia. Been a while. But this episode is definitely my favorite Peepers episode. I really, really like this episode a lot.
And like I said, it's because of him working off of Lord Hater.
Of course.
Didn't it? I mean, like I said, you'll get a lot of episodes like this in the second season, where it's just them.
Yeah, and I really like how this is executed, because it is just them, but at the same time, I feel like we get just enough of hey, there's Wander doing Wander-esque things, and it's even more ridiculous because it's coming from Lord Hater's perception of the things that Wander would do. And that's just really good writing, in my opinion.
Didn't I tell you?
So let me just. I have a feeling we're just kind of jump all over this episode. We don't necessarily have to go in a linear format, because this episode really is just kind of a whole bunch of gags thrown together at the end of the day. But general format is Peepers and Hater are having a brainstorming session with a bunch of the other watchdogs. And, after Peepers pitched a rather good plan at the beginning of the episode. And so, basically, Jacob, what we get is just a series of gags about Hater just coming up with any possible way that Wanderer could ruin these plans. So what were your favorite gags from this episode?
Well, some of my favorites from this episode are probably the one where they kidnap the princess and it turns out to be Wanderer.
And now I'm married to Hater. Now I'm married to Wander now. Peepers, are you happy? I'm married to the person I hate the most.
Yep.
My personal favorite thing is I really like the whole sequence towards the end where Peepers is wanting to lay out the plan a second time, and he's coming up with all these things that Hater is, it's well, what if he throws a picnic? Then we'll have a giant ants. Well, what if he has a giant anteater? Then we'll have a giant anteater eater.
And then and so on. What if he distracts me with carnival games?
That is my personal favorite gag in the episode.
It's like a reference to The Greatest. I think it kind of points out even the flaw in The Greatest. You don't play the games.
Well, you know what? That's a good thing, because the writers are kind of self-aware of some of their plot holes. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know if that was actually, I don't know if that was intentional, though. That's the thing.
Sure, but at any rate, it's kind of like the whole fun of this episode is kind of pointing out how ridiculous Hater's paranoia is.
Yeah, but my personal favorite is the banjo.
The banjo thing is executed flawlessly. It really is.
It's like, first over with the mind combobulator, how that works out. Like, Peepers, why would you let it be with Rose? I mean, seriously. I mean, seriously, you know why. I mean, seriously, Peepers, what's wrong with you? And then, like, just the end of the plan, just somehow Banjo ruins everything.
And I love how just at the very end of the episode, it's honestly maybe one of my favorite endings of any Wander Over Yonder episode.
Yeah, considering like after Commander Peepers' surprisingly riveting speech to Lord Hater, which inspires him to basically go full out and like, let's do this. And then it turns out he was right. Banjo.
Just instant defeat. That's what it's just the timing on it that makes it so great. It's just like they fly to the planet and then just Banjo happens.
Banjo.
Oh my god. To me, this whole episode is like one long joke that builds up to that payoff. To me, I really feel that way, and I appreciate it for that.
That's like the highlight of this episode.
Oh yeah.
It's weird that a highlight is the ending, but it just pulls it off so well.
Oh, it's great. Like I said, it's like a great punchline. Jacob, I want to point out, like, maybe a little bit inconsequentially, but two standout like artistic moments that really sold me involving Peepers. One of them is when they're all having lunch and then pitching around ideas and everything, and Peepers is getting really fed up. And I love the shot. It's kind of like silhouetted where Peepers stands up on the table against all the other watchdogs, and he's like above all the other watchdogs in silhouette. You know what I'm talking about?
You're like, this is getting us nowhere.
Exactly. I just love the composition of that shot and the silhouette and stuff. I thought it was very artfully done. And then second, it's kind of like both these shots are kind of like showing how Peepers is more than the average watchdog. The second shot that I really liked was when Lord Hater, he just gets really self-defeated about the whole Banjo thing, kind of like, everyone get out, invasion canceled. And then I love the shot of, it's kind of an overhead shot of all the watchdogs getting up to leave and marching out, but Peepers staying in the room. I don't know, just both those shots really, it's just very tastefully done in my opinion, Jacob. I mean, I know I might be kind of hanging on it a little bit, but I really like that. I really like kind of like these more subtle, like it's just in the composition and the framing and everything. Both shots only last a couple seconds, I should say, but I really liked them.
I mean, I see where you're coming from. I mean, the show does strive on artistic quality above a lot else. I mean, it tries to balance good writing, good animation as well.
I don't really have a lot to say about this episode because, like I said, it's really well done. It executes its premise pretty flawlessly. I think this episode is a big success in terms of doing a story with Hater and Peepers and having Wander is like, we never really see Wander in the episode. We see Hater's kind of like hypothetical scenarios involving Wander, but we never actually see the real Wander unless you count like maybe a frame or two of him at the very end with the banjo, Banjo.
I said, plus we get all the other, plus all their like ridiculous interactions, like how even the other watchdogs aren't very helpful with their ideas.
No, they're really not.
Like stocks for hands, gloves. I'll bring down gloves. Like I need to go to the bathroom. Not a pitch. Still writing it down.
Okay. Another interesting kind of sidetrack with this episode is a really long scenario about he explains the frequency of Wander's banjo would match the frequency of the mind combobulator, causing a huge explosion. And as a result, you and I would get zapped by it, and we'd emerge later and start a new life in a fishing village. I don't know. We would start anew as fishermen until one woman, Rosa, comes between us. And we'd fight over Rosa's infection, but you would end up with Ron the baker. She would end up with Ron the baker. And that would leave us as sad old men contemplating our lives. Why couldn't you let me have her, Peepers?
We could have been so happy together.
Oh God. Jacob, let me ask you, because I know that Hater is going to get a love interest in the future, or at least, like, kind of, I don't really know all that much about it. Like, I just know the bare bones about that storyline. But is anything in that little snippet kind of a foreshadowing, or is it just a fun gag?
It's basically a gag. I mean,
That's what I figured, yeah.
It's nothing to do with it. There's basically nothing to do with any future crush that Lord Hater has.
Okay, fair enough.
It's just basically his overlong fantasy about what would happen if the mind combobulator didn't work.
I just love how he basically just plans out this whole life. Like, yes, this is what would... in a way, Peepers should be kind of happy because, like Hater does have this whole idea in mind of, like, them living out this long life together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but ends up them being bitter rivals because of a woman.
I mean, that's true, but he's thinking about him nonetheless, I don't know.
What other Watch Dogs do, I wonder?
Yeah, exactly. That's my whole thing. It's like, would Hater have that much of a genuine, like, like, long, tangential thing about going and starting a life anew with another watchdog if they were pitching an idea? That that's what I'm wondering. I do think there's something there between Hater and Peepers, even though Hater probably hates to admit it. It's like at the very back of his mind, Hater does have a little bit of a grudging respect for Peepers. I don't know. That's at least the way I read it. I don't know if I'm 100% reading it the right way because, like we said, I'm kind of the newbie to the show. You're the one who's watched the whole series, so who knows?
I mean, they are considered friends. I mean, Hater respects Peepers in most cases, and Peepers tries to respect Lord Hater a lot. Then especially in season 2, there do get tensions between them, especially when he becomes too obsessed with the W word.
Yeah.
As it's put later. And it's basically a lot of tests of their friendship, kind of like how Wander and Sylvia operate.
Okay, I like that. So far, Jacob, I really am. I'm excited to see more because I feel like the series has established these two pairs, like you just said, like Hater's Peeper and Hater and Peepers, and then Wander and Sylvia. Like, you're right, it is very much kind of a compare and contrast between the two groups.
Yeah, this episode, it's kind of funny that I talk about this because there are episodes that, like in season 2, that they build would be what they planned to be season 3 like.
Sure.
I wonder if this episode, and I don't know if this is intentional, but this kind of seems like an episode that they set up for like a lot of Peepers and Haters moments.
Yeah, I was wondering that too. So you can kind of see that since obviously you know what's coming up and I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I said the thing is that one was kind of intentional. I don't know if this one is.
Right. Okay.
And just one final gag. I don't know if this one is intentional or not, but Peepers' brain is bigger than Hater's. Looking at a screenshot.
Also, just really quick, I know we're just about done here, but just another fun. But again, this whole episode is a string of gags, and I like it for that. But just more scenarios. What if we block out their sun? Well, then he'll have a warm. Wander's like warmth generating group hug.
Melt their ice caps. Pool party
planet.
Yeah, I mean, like, leave it to Wander to turn melting ice caps into a positive thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, Jacob. I think that's about it. Final thoughts on this, if you have any.
Very fun episode. Like one of my, I think I could call this one of my personal favorites.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's up there for me. I gotta say, like, I'd have to rewatch some of the other episodes, but I like it a lot.
I think this is one of the best pairs we've gotten so far, considering it's paired with the Lonely Planet.
That's true. And again, this is why we need to put these out on a more consistent basis, because then we can really dive into like the episodes that they're paired with a little bit more, which leads to some interesting discussion.
Like I said, this is personally like one of my favorite pairs. Like, I mean, like the Lonely Planet is just like crazy on Wander and Sylvia's side, but this is like utter ridiculously on their side.
Sure.
I mean, it's one of my favorite pairs and like some of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, we'll see. I like it a lot. Like I said, it's definitely, I feel like if anything else, this episode kind of cemented my liking of the Hater and Peepers dynamic. I obviously have liked Hater from the very beginning, But I think this episode kind of cements me liking Peepers a lot as well. So
I see that, but I said I was gonna say something along the line. So, but what I'm saying is, okay, I just forgot what it was again.
okay, well,
I know what I want to say, I just don't know how to articulate it. But all right, just forget it.
Are we good then?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay then. So thanks for watching, people. We should hopefully have a new, like, the next couple episodes coming out. Actually, Jacob, you want to tease the next couple episodes for me, as we usually tend to do?
Okay, I have it somewhere. And I think I just looked it up a while ago. Let me get to it.
Sure.
Sorry. Actually,
No problem.
Okay, the next episode after the Brainstorm, according to the wiki, is The Toddler.
Okay. Oh God.
Wander and Sylvie return a giant lost baby to its parents, but their attempts are complicated by their different parenting methods.
Oh, okay. That sounds really fun. It's not just a baby; it's a giant baby.
Giant lost baby.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay.
and the fancy party, where
Ooh.
Lord Hater competes for the affection of an alien queen in order to inherit her army and take over the universe. But his efforts are complicated by the return of Emperor Awesome.
Oh, okay. Okay.
A sentient black cube of darkness, and Wander himself.
Uh-huh. Awesome. Emperor Awesome.
Let's get awesome.
Okay, Jacob. So very much looking forward to it. Like we said, we should probably have those next 2 episodes done within this calendar week, and hopefully have 2 episodes a week from there on out. So thank you for your patience on the show, guys. Hope you enjoy it. Hope we get back into it. And in the meantime, later, haters. Banjo.